Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be on this look right here. Today I'm going to be using the KKWX Mario palette. It is so beautiful. Mario has been Kim's makeup artist for like 10 years, for a decade, so it would only be natural that they would collab together. I'm a super huge fan of Mario and I've followed him for a very long time, and everybody knows I'm obsessed with the Kardashians. I have watched every single episode of every one of the Kardashian shows, like every spin-off and everything. I've watched every single one of them since the very first episode aired. I accidentally caught it. I think I was watching something on E that night and it came on after it, and I just ended up watching it, and I fell in love with the first episode and I never stopped watching it, and I've never missed an episode. Kind of like my Real Housewives. When Mario came out with his palette with Anastasia Beverly Hills, I got that immediately because I loved him so much, and I have loved that palette, and I just kind of wanted to show it to you guys today and show you kind of a comparison between that and the KKW collaboration. So the KKW palette is on the top and the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette is on the bottom, and you can see that they are very different. I don't know if you can get the Master palette by Mario anymore. I don't think so, but I'm not really sure, and if you can't, then I'm sorry I mentioned it because it's so good. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial. I want to do a few more looks with this palette, so if that's something that you guys would like to see, please leave me a comment down below or on my Instagram and tell me what you guys think. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with this shade right here. It's called Miami, and I'm just going to go with an M513 brush, and I'm just going to build that color up a little bit in my crease and a little bit above my crease. Okay, next I'm going to go in with the shade Albanian. I'm going to go in with an M518. This is the color that I'm the most excited about. I love this type of shade. And I'm going to go with that shade in my crease, and I'm just going to focus it a little bit lower than the Miami shade. And I'm just going to build that color up. These colors, I mean, the formula is just blending together so well, and it's almost effortless. I'm going to go back in with the shade Miami, and I'm just going to buff those edges out again. And then I'm going to go back in with the Albanian shade and just deepen that back up. You can see I'm trying to steer clear of this area as much as possible. We're going to cut that so with concealer, so if you get it in there, don't, you know, stress about it. You're going to cover it up anyways. Then I'm going to go in with this chocolate shade Loyalty. I'm going to go in with just this smaller blending brush, and this is the E17, and I'm just going to focus this on the outer corner. I'm going to just press it in and lightly sweep it back and forth, and then I'm going to very lightly sweep it into my crease just a little. Not very much. I just wanted to deepen that up a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with that M518 with that Albanian shade, and I'm just going to blend that back out just to make sure there's no harsh edges, just to make it look a little more seamless. And also that's the primary color that I want to shine through. And then I'm going to go back in with the M513 with no additional product on it, And I'm just going to use that to blend my edges back out. Then I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and a Morphe MB10, and I'm going to use that to cut my crease. I'm going to put just a touch of it down here next to my lash line, and then I'm going to look up, and so that's where I need to cut my crease. Okay, so I'm so used to doing voiceovers that I forgot to talk through this part, so I'm gonna have to do a voiceover. Anyways, I took that brush and I squeezed the end of it until it was flat and kind of wide, and because I felt like that would help to get like a better line, and it did work really well, so I was really happy with how that turned out. It just made it super easy to cover a large area at one time, and it makes it a lot easier to keep from messing up, and you can see that it's also a lot easier to fill everything in once I'm done cutting the crease. I'm going to take a MAC 211, which is just a liner brush, and I'm just going to use that to help me get a really precise, sharp line all the way across, and use it to fill in and spread the concealer around. And then I'm just going to take my finger, press it around to get rid of any extra concealer. I'm going to go in with this really pretty light shade called 2008 on a MAC 242, and I'm just going to press that right in my inner corner and bring it up just a little. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Armenian. I'm going to use that same MAC 242 brush, and I'm just going to press that in right next to that white shade. I'm going to overlap it just a little bit so that it helps to blend it. I'm also going to make sure that I tap my brush over the edge of the white so that it all blends together and is seamless. I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Bronzy, and I'm still using that same MAC 242 brush. Want to make sure that I get all of these colors right up against that cut crease line, and then I'm going to blend it over, not quite to the edge, and then I'm going to pat it over top of the gold just like we did the white to make sure that it's all blended out. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Vegas. It's like a really pretty, like purpley shimmery shade. I'm just going to focus that color on the very outer part, like the outer V of our lid. And then I'm going to do the same thing and tap it over top of the bronze color so that it all blends together and looks a little seamless. Then I felt like the middle part just didn't seem blended very well between the gold and the bronze, so I took a little bit more of that gold shade and I'm just kind of wiggling it and patting it back and forth, and then I'm going to take the bronze shade and I'm going to do the same thing just so that they kind of mesh together better and don't look like a straight line. I'm going to go back in with this Albanian shade, and I'm going to go on a really tiny M515. I'm going to put just the tiniest bit of product on it, and then I'm going to outline my cut crease a little bit so that it's a little more defined, and I also want that shade to show up, to peek out over top of the cut crease. I'm going to go in with an M443 brush, and I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of Armenian, and I'm going to put a little on my brush, and I'm going to tap off as much as I can because I just want a little bit to shade this outer corner here. And to work up into my crease. Now if you get it all down here, I like to drag it because I'm going to clean this up anyways, and then that way I know that my shadow is nice and blended. Now you want to be careful if you bring your brush over here like I did, because you don't want to touch any of those shimmer shades because it could drag them up, and that's definitely not what we want. And then I'm going to go back in with the M513 and that Miami shade, and I'm just going to buff out any harsh edges. Okay, so I'm going to take an E17 brush and I'm going to dip back into this Loyalty shade, and I'm just going to pat it around the very edge and kind of blend it up a little bit too, not too high. And then I'm going to go back in with my M433 and I'm just going to clean that up real quick. Blend that out real quick. Okay, now I'm going to clean this up so it doesn't look so horrible. So that we can kind of see what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to go in with the two concealers that I always go in with, which is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I'm just going to take my Morphe Beauty Sponge to blend that out. And then of course, like always, I'm going to set that under my eyes a little bit with some RCMA translucent powder. Okay, I'm going to go back in with that shade Miami. I'm going to use an R41 just to blend that out underneath my lower lash line. I'm going to bring it up. I'm just using the tip very lightly on this edge to kind of soften it up a little bit. I'm going to go in with a flat definer brush and the shade Loyalty again, and I'm just going to press that right along my lash line, and I'm only going to go about halfway in. And then I'm going to go back in with the shade Armenian on that R41 brush, and I'm just going to blend that out. I'm going to go back in with the shade 2008, and I'm going to use the Morphe M508, and I'm going to press that into my brow bone right under the arch, and then I will blend it down and out a little bit. And then I'm also going to pop a little bit of that into the inner corner. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and apply my mascara, lashes, and blush off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so now that I have my lashes, mascara, blush on, I also went ahead and did a little wing liner. I'm going to go in with this MAC Costa Riche eyeliner, and I'm going to put that in my waterline because the first time that I ever heard of this was because Mario used this on Kim Kardashian back in the day, and it looks so beautiful, and I bought it and have used it ever since. Next, for highlight, I'm going to go into the Kylie Cosmetics Wet Set, and I'm going to use the shade Privacy Please. And I have learned that this applies the best just using your finger. And as always, I'm going to apply this to my cheekbones, the tops of them, to the center of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the Amrezy Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter, and I'm just going to use my Beautyblender to apply that right over top. And I have just learned that this is absolutely, at least for my skin tone, this is just the best highlight combo ever. It's like really blinding, but it's like not natural but natural. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it looks like a natural beam coming from out of your skin, but there's like no way it could be that bright, if that makes sense. But it's just so beautiful and super blinding. Okay, so for lips today, I did not get the Kim Kardashian and Mario lip collection just because it was already sold out. By the time that I got online, I was so disappointed. I actually went to lunch with a friend that day and I had an alarm set on my phone to make sure that I got online as soon as everything dropped. But I forgot my phone at home, so I missed out. But luckily I did get home in time to be able to get a palette. So instead I'm gonna go in with this lipstick by Dose of Colors, and it was the Desi and Katy collection, and it's called No Shade. And then I'm gonna go over top of it with a Kylie Cosmetics gloss called So Cute. Last but not least, I'm gonna set my face with some Morphe Prep and Set spray. And so that concludes my tutorial using the KKW X Mario palette. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.